Hello again, witchy people. Like all these videos in one day. So I was going to make kind of like a VR to somebody, and it didn't end up, well, it's not going to end up being a VR at all. I watched She Who Walks Between the Worlds. I watched Drew's video about so you want to become a YouTube witch sort of thing, and it fascinated me, and I read some of the comments, and regardless of what anyone else thinks, I think she was quite right. You don't become a YouTube witch for subscribers or fame or money, because it's just not going to happen. You do have the odd one or two that skyrocket. You also have others that I think play on or play off of Facebook, you know, sort of like friend gather on Facebook and stuff like that, and then get lots of subscribers on YouTube. You get people that even buy subscribers. I have found out recently. This is a new one for me, and I'm not saying that popular witches, that's why, you know, popular witches do tend to, as Drew said, they do tend to become popular because they're very authentic and they've got valid things to say. And that got me thinking. I saw a few videos because I haven't really, this year really, January to June, I haven't really watched a lot of YouTube. Certainly not very many YouTube pagans. And so I thought I'd catch up. And there are so few compared to what there were before the pandemic making videos as to what there is now, it seems. Maybe it's just people that I like to watch, I don't know. And looking and listening and watching these videos that are around, a lot of them from what I would call, quite, for me anyway, quite new YouTubers, it made me feel very outdated, actually. And I don't think there's much room on YouTube at the moment for channels like mine, which are almost, in comparison, quite whimsical. There isn't much room on YouTube for non-controversial, unopinionated witches, it seems. Like I say, not much room. There is room for some, and I don't think I'm going to be one of them. I think my channel just coasts along. Certainly by not uploading for a few months, I have put myself in that position where I've lost quite a few subscribers. I haven't gained many back. And like I said, I'm not doing this for subscribers. It's just, like I said, the whole platform, as far as YouTube and witches or paganism, seems to have changed an awful lot. It's almost like I'm watching the YouTube boat sail away and I'm sat on the dock of the bay watching this boat, this YouTube pagan boat, sail into the distance. And it's quite, I will never be controversial. I will never be strongly opinionated against someone or something else, mainly because I'm very much a listener. I like other people's opinions. I like listening to things that are different to my own views, and then learning why these views are different. I enjoy that. It's not something that I find combative. Is it combative, that the word? It's not something that I find that I need to argue with. It's something that I need to listen to. And like I said, not for any other reason other than curiosity, really. And so I sat here thinking of the relevance of my own channel just as I'm beginning to make videos again, I'm sat here questioning myself and my own relevance within the YouTube pagan community. Is there room for me? Is there room for a channel like this that doesn't have a strong opinion? And maybe there isn't, but I do think I will keep on making videos. It's just, like I said, I'm not doing it for reasons for subscribers or for money or anything like that. The main, as I've said before, the main reason I started this channel was to keep a record of who I am, who I was when I started making this channel. For my opinions, my thoughts, my way of life, before that disappears from who I will become. So it's been a bit of an eye-opener going back onto YouTube now, compared to, you know, how it was. It's almost like I have become irrelevant for this new world that's emerging from the pandemic, which is slightly worrying. It doesn't make me any less relevant as a person or a witch. It just makes the content that I have on my channel, and I understand this, not as relevant or as interesting perhaps as other people's. I cannot change my channel and become something, let it become something that I cannot feel comfortable with. So it's going to stay the same. I do have some opinions about practices, about people, but they are my own personal opinions that will stay my own personal opinions, like I said, because I don't invite controversy into my life. I don't invite arguments, and it's just, life is too short to get caught up in your hair, to get caught up in disagreements with people that, apart from maybe one or two small things, you would probably get along very, very well with. So yeah, and this all comes from watching Drew's video on, and I will try and remember to link it below, about her video on So You Want to Become a YouTube Pagan or a YouTube Witch. You know, like I said, it completely valid, but that took me on to watching videos from YouTubers that have made channels in the last few months. And there seems to be a lot of new channels. People obviously have had much more time at home, much more time in their garden. They've maybe been able to connect much more with their spirituality and discovered that side of them that is more pagan, more witchy, and then delved into YouTube as a result of that. And like I said, for the most part, I have found, and I'm not saying that being opinionated is bad, not at all, don't get me wrong. I'm saying that being opinionated and having these strong opinions isn't for me. It doesn't make me a weak person. It just means that I will not share my strong opinions because I don't like to court controversy. I don't want the hassle. I haven't got time to sit and have arguments on YouTube or on Messenger or in the comments section or on Facebook or anything. You know, it's not for me. At one time it probably would have been. I would have enjoyed I used to enjoy a good argument, but that's the whole thing. It has to be a good argument, but not so much anymore. I think age has caught up with me and I'm not that person any longer. So there you go, thinking about relevancy in this, and it is a new world. I think people have changed so much, and whether we do slip, you know, slowly or quickly back into how we were before this pandemic and before the whole lockdown. It seems like the whole world's been locked down, well, most of it. If we do slip back to how we were before, I will be very surprised. I think we have changed permanently. We may slip back a little bit, but for now, like I said, people seem to have changed. The new faces appearing on YouTube, not just in the pagan sort of community on YouTube, but generally, and in a wider general YouTube sort of thing. I've noticed that there's a lot more drama going on, and that's not something that the pagan community tends to get a lot of. We don't get a lot of drama, but there seems to be a lot more drama generally on YouTube. A lot more channels calling each other out, you know, for certain things, especially the gaming channels. There's been an awful lot of gaming and reaction channels that have been really, you know, calling each other out on certain things, and channels being closed down and demonetized and all sorts. So yeah, it seems to me that maybe because of this lockdown and because the world seems to have been on pause for so long, some parts of YouTube are trying, you know, they need this excitement, they need this drama, because the world has become so very, very quiet. Maybe. Anyway, that was just a few thoughts on where this channel's going, and I think it's going to have to be apologies for those who want to have something a bit more exciting. It's not going to come from this channel. It really is just me and my weaker opinions. Yes, I will quite often give them my weaker opinions. I will give thoughts on my own life and perhaps thoughts on a wider platform as well. But my stronger opinions I tend to keep to myself, because it's not just the fact that I don't like the controversy. I think as well, if you have a strong opinion about something, you can have that opinion swayed. You can have that opinion change as things grow and change, you know, what your opinion is. Like, certain people will change, so your opinion changes about them. And so there you go. I'm going to shut up waffling now and probably upload this. But anyway, yes, so it was going to start out as a VR to Drew, and then it kind of didn't. It just became a bit of an introspective, oh my, where's my channel going? And it was more not as an informative piece for other people, but for me to think out loud about what I am going to do. And, you know, like I said, whether there is room for me, whether there's room for me or not, I'm still going to be here. That's about it. So thank you for watching once again, witchy people. I'll be back very soon. Probably not as soon as I have been recently, but I will be back soon. Bye for now.